Hi, I'm Zan Monroe, and this is Stories of Uncle Adrian, a guide to mastery in your life. There are 6 areas of your life that you need to become focused on becoming a master of. But the last part of this book is all about putting them together into the 7 steps that lead to mastery in any part of your life. But I think the best way to describe it is one of Uncle Adrian's favorite stories, and it's titled, "We Did It This Way Last Year." You see, people always tell you, oh, we did it that way last year, so we'll just do it that way again this year. Uncle Adrian had 2 friends who loved to hunt and fish, and every year they would take a trip to Kodiak Island, Alaska. They would fly out there on the same week, use the same airline, use the same guide, do the same trip every single year. One year he got to go with them. They loaded on an airplane and they flew from the East Coast to the West Coast and got on other airplanes and ended up making it into Alaska. Once they landed there, then they had to go by car over to the little airport, and there sat the float plane with the guide who was going to take them out to Kodiak Island to live in a cardboard hut for about a week. And they were going to hunt and fish on this fabulous trip. They flew out there, and on the way out, one of the gentlemen in the airplane said, you know, I've got a license to shoot this Sitka black-tailed deer. How will I know when I'm looking at the right deer? And the guide said, look, when I fly away from you, there's not going to be another human being within 56 miles. If you see something and you want to shoot it, shoot it. If you don't like it, leave it there. The bears will eat it. Uncle Adrian said it was about that time he realized where they were going, to Kodiak Island, where the Kodiak bears were. And he said they landed, they flew in on this little lake right surrounded by mountains, and they put them off on a pier with a little hut that they lived in, and for a week they lived like men in the woods. They took baths in the stream, and he said after a week of hunting and fishing and no hot water, he was ready to come home when the plane came back. When the plane came back, they loaded all their gear, all their equipment, all the things they had shot, and the pilot cranked up the plane. He said, we're overweight. One of the gentlemen got right up in his face. He said, we did this the same way last year. We did this same trip every single year. Last year, the pilot had a plane that looked just like yours. We carried the same gear. We killed the same amount of animals. He said, we loaded the plane exactly this way last year. The guy told us last year it was overweight. Crank up this plane and let's go home. The pilot said, that may be the case, but if we're overweight and I can't get up out of these mountains, we're going to crash. The man got right in his face. He said, look, we do this trip the same way every year. You need to crank us up and get out of here. So the pilot cranked up the airplane, and they went across the water. Hum, hum, hum. They came up off the water, made one turn, crashed right into the mountain. Slid out of the airplane. Everybody was all right. They came to a stop. One of the gentlemen said, Bob, where are we? He said, I don't know, but we're pretty close to where we crashed last year. If you keep crashing into mountains year after year, you might want to change your plan. My name is Zan Monroe, and this is Stories of Uncle Adrian.